Welcome back to the conversation. It's been a minute, but we like to talk to people about things that we love, especially movies. So I had to bring this young man back. I don't know when it was, but like a week or so ago, I just got this thing for iOS app. Well, I got an iPhone, so it's an iOS app for me. And I was like, what is Keptcase? And I started like looking through the screenshots and everything. But then when I went to the Instagram page, and I'm always someone who reads descriptions. I don't know if you're like that too, but when I saw the name, I was like, my initial brother, GC.
Yeah,
So
man.
that's what you've been doing.
I look mostly that for sure. Obviously,
Uh-huh.
life too.
Yeah,
It's
man.
it's been a crazy, crazy year. But this was something I've been wanting to do for quite some time,
Mm-hmm.
and I just told myself I was like, you know what, somebody's gonna beat me to it, and if they do, chances are, who knows if they're gonna do it the way that I'm wanting to do it, like my vision. I was like, I'm just gonna get it out there, man, and I kept telling myself I want it to be perfect, and I had to convince myself. I was like, get it out there, get something working that's amazing and it's good for everybody to use, and
Mm-hmm.
then keep building on it instead of just waiting for that right moment.
Well,
But
just to fill people in on what we're talking about, this beautiful man here has made a mobile app that basically is celebrating all physical media. And I know when people say physical media in the movie space, they just really are talking about Blu-rays and 4Ks. But you covered all the gamuts with this app, man. It's a physical media collector app for movies, DVD, 4K, Blu-rays,
laser
VHS,
discs, everything, man.
Laserdisc.
You
But
name it.
then, I gotta like, it's like for those things too. It's
Vinyls, yup.
it's for the vinyls. It's you got everything working, man. What is the story? How did this come about? What was the advent of it? Share your story.
Yeah, so when I first started really getting back into collecting, I
Mhm.
realized it's like, man, it's hard to keep track of things. Obviously, I don't want an Excel sheet. There's a handful of apps out there. A lot of the popular ones that we know of, I tried some of them. For example, I'll tell you right now, we have like Movie Buddy Plus. That's one. That's the main one that I was using for quite some time. ZLZ movies. That's another big one that
People like
everybody uses,
CLC. Yeah.
and they love it, man. And there's nothing wrong with these apps. the The problem was that I'm a very UI UX type of guy. I you know for physical media collectors, for movie buffs, we're very into the details, as we've seen in a lot of movie reviews and stuff like that. A lot of pixel counting and all that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so for me, it was something I wanted, a beautiful app that had more than just like the name of your movie. I wanted to visually see things in a way that it represents almost my shelf. And top of that, I wanted all these extra features, right? Like sometimes it does get overwhelming to have over 2,000 movies that night. You want to watch a horror movie, but you just don't know what to pick. So I
I
wanted that
I got
option.
something like that when people come over and they turn the corner here and then it's like overwhelming.
Yeah.
So then
Like,
it's like, well, what do you want to watch? You're like, well, I don't know. And you might get them to break it down to a genre. An app like this will help you in
oh
different
yeah.
ways.
Yeah, and I didn't even reinvent the wheel on that part because I know a CLZ app does a feature like that. But for me, I wanted to add more. When you have a partner, right? Me and my girlfriend, sometimes she'll come look at my shelf and be like, "It's too much," and then I'll pick something. She's like, "I'm not really in the mood for that. How about this?" So I'm trying to implement features where you're both putting in your input, and then from there, the app is curating something where you're both will be able to be happy and enjoy. And there it is. Yeah, that's the site. And I wanted to do the same for music. I wanted to do the same for books. I wanted to do the same thing for video games. And then I
Hmm.
just launched this week comic books. So I have over almost a million comic books, like a whole database in there. It's for all the enthusiasts. And then this is first time saying it here. I'm trying to figure out a way to implement magazines as well, right? People that collect
Ooh,
Fangoria, um,
yeah,
magazines like that. So you just have all your physical media under one low price, nothing crazy. And
right.
And that yeah, man, it just this project meant a lot to me to try to give something back to the community,
Mhm.
build something. And I know a lot of people think, man, but it's a subscription or you have to pay for it. Yes, right? But if you look at it in the sense of, think about, like, somebody built something for you and you're repaying them with a cup of coffee, right? So that's what I wanted to kind of implement. And obviously too, with like maintaining databases and systems and stuff, it was something that unfortunately I couldn't put for free because of all those features and all that stuff. And it just takes so much storage and so much resource, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. I would say give the app a try, see how it measures up, because here's the one thing. I use Blu-ray.com's My Movies. I tried CLZ. I didn't like the interface for me. I'm a visual person. I'm much more like the way My Movies does it. But the whole thing is, if you have a collection of any sorts, really, just try it out. See how it works for you, because I think it's always good to have innovation. And that's what I thought when I saw it. I was like, okay, somebody's not just sticking with what we already have and saying, okay, there's limitations, or I don't like this, or I don't like that. Or if I was to do it, you actually got in there and started to do it. I love that.
And it's a real world experience too, man. Like, it's
Yeah.
situations where I'm out there and I'm like, I wish I could do this faster. I wish I could look up this movie.
Mhm.
How can I catalog this instead of just having to catalog it as a Blu-ray, then a 4K separately? Could I just scan this and it knows, or I let it know there's a Blu-ray and 4K in here? And yeah,
Because I know sometimes I'm like, someone wants, like, one of my kids might wanna watch something on Blu-ray. I don't know which one of my movies has just 4K, which has Blu-ray. Like, I could take a guess, like, most of my imports, I know, won't have a digital code, it might have a Blu-ray, but it's cool to see them all broken down like that.
speaking of digital codes, you could track your digital code in there. It lets you know when it's gonna expire. So
That's what we need.
you know if it's used already or not.
It's great.
I'm telling you, man, like, little by little, just trying to build something perfect for the community, trying to
Yeah,
build something where you could like add on to the community. Like, I
yeah.
added share your shelf feature. So you could share your shelf, you could show it off, let people know
Mhm.
what you've got. They could browse through it as if they were in KB's shelves themselves. They'll just go on there and be like, damn, that's a cool collection that he has. But
Man.
yeah, sharing wish lists, everything, man.
So, the question that immediately when I saw your name, I smiled, of course. Definitely one of my favorite guests that I had on here before. So definitely you're one of the welcome backs. But is this your background? How did you, like, what was the first step for you to get into the actual creation of a mobile app?
Yeah. So I've worked in IT for over 12 plus years. I got a degree in network systems administration. So for the first 7 years of my career, I was doing like ethical type hacking, network security. Pretty much the IT stuff that you hear about. And in that field, you wear the same hat for everything. So you're
Mhm.
responsible for anything infrastructure. And after about 7 years, I decided, I was like, man, I want to work from home. I went on Udemy and I found this course and where this guy lived this perfect life where for lunch he would go paddleboarding, come home, spend time with his family, build websites, have clients, have this amazing stability. He didn't get yelled at every time something broke or you had to ask for money to fix something. So I looked into it and I was like, man, this is, maybe exploring my creative side of IT. So I decided to teach myself for a few months, almost a year, like the very basics. Got my first job like doing web development entry level and spent over 9 years doing that, learning about app development as well,
Yeah.
managing an app in an app store, like project implementation, like the whole 9 yards. Like, it was a big learning experience that prepared me for this moment where I was able to build something myself and just already understand how does analytics work with all this. What are the rules with Apple? Because they're very
Mhm.
strict. It's not easy getting an app into the app store. And I wanted to answer because somebody said, I hope it comes to the Android market soon. Something I am working on. Obviously, they're two different app stores, so it is a little bit harder. They have their own rules. And then
Mhm.
there's certain features with the app. But one in particular, I wouldn't be able to bring over to Android. So that's what I'm still trying to figure out. How can I make that work with Android?
Right.
But it is in the next phase, guys. So I'm thinking about everybody here for this. So
I like that. I like that. Every time, especially in June, because that's like when Apple has their developers conference, and I'll pay attention to it because I want to see what's coming out in like the different operating systems. But it's always interesting to see like what they're doing, especially with mobile apps, because there was a big push for it a couple years, and just seeing they make it seem so easy to create, not necessarily easy to get, like you said, on the App Store or anything like that, but they make it accessible for anyone. They're showing you 5 and 7 year olds making apps to put in the App Store. You know, simplistic in nature, but at the same time, it's like that you could do it too attitude. And to go from that, and I know yours is much more in depth than those examples, but to go from that, it really just is an idea and a dedication to it. So once again, I was so happy to actually see that it was you doing this and everything. I know you mentioned the Android. What are some of the other things that are brewing in your head, for like version 2 or 1.5 or whatever the case may be?
well, so I actually, man, I'll be able to give a sneak peek to you guys, show you a few things here and there, but I've
Hmm.
been looking for ways to reorganize the way you look at your shelf on the app itself. I just added a feature which is not on the live update that I just pushed out today. So this is kind of still in the testing phase, but I should be out probably in another week or so. It's a feature where you look up your movie, right? And it tells you if it like what streaming service it's available on. And it's the best thing about it is if it gives you a recommendation based on the movie you love, you just watch, right? And
Right.
it tells you, hey, you might enjoy this. When you tap on that, it tells you which streaming service it's on. But if it's not, it's going to say physical media only. And
Mm,
it works for two people because in this case, you don't have to buy it before you watch it. Like you get to watch it first, enjoy it, and then you buy it. So you don't
right.
spend that money. But if there's no streaming anywhere and you already own it, it's going to verify that you did the right thing.
Right.
That you're like, I bought it and I'm glad I did because that movie's not streaming anywhere.
Yeah, and
So
we know as collectors, there's a whole bunch of movies out
yeah,
there that you can't stream. I mean, I was just going through my Hux challenge that I'm doing all year, and a couple of movies I was like, I don't want to go downstairs, or somebody's watching TV downstairs. I'll just try to stream it, and we got pretty much every streaming service available almost, and it wasn't available. And then you have
oh
the
yeah,
opposite where you have things on physical, but in high definition format. It might only be on DVD. It's not on Blu-ray or whatever. First thing I think of is Splash for some reason, with Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah.
yeah,
It's only on DVD or Grandma's Boy or whatever. There's a whole bunch of different examples like that.
yeah, and
That's
it's so
cool.
disappointing, man, because sometimes you're just kind of you're excited to watch something, and a lot of these apps you'll get that recommendation. You're like, oh, I'm so pumped. Let's check it out, and it's like, yeah, sorry, it's not available anywhere, and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
damn it, this
Mm-hmm.
is why we own things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so many features, man, that I'm working on. I'm redoing the tour, so when a new user downloads it, it's more interactive and it walks them a little bit more in depth to the app because the main takeaway from this experience is I want people to click around, click everything, guys. Like if you download this app, explore because I'm telling you, there's so many features that it's just hard to market. Like when I tell you that I've run through this with some of your favorite creators and I've asked them questions and it's gotten to the point where you start hitting that wall. You're like, what else do I add? And then you're in the shower out of nowhere. You're like, wait a minute. When I'm in the store, I want to scan movies and I want it to tell me if I scan it, it says, hey, you own this movie, but you own the VHS. So how about you get this
Like
Blu-ray?
that.
And
I
I had
like
that
that.
on there. I just added it
Mm-hmm.
too. And yeah, man, like it's just so much. And I do have a simulator actually set up. So later on, if you want me to share anything, I could share my screen and I could show the simulator like in real time and everything.
Hey, how long does it take for you to get into it? I say no time like the present.
Well, I have it. literally
Yeah, go
up
ahead,
and
share it
going. So
out.
let me see here. Man, this is exciting. Okay, so guys, this is my baby. This is Keptcase. As of right now, iOS only, but working on Android. But here it is, and this is my personal collection, so you kind of get to see in real time some of the stuff, except the comic books. That's
Hmm.
something that for these I was doing some testing on there.
Right.
Um, but right off the bat, when you get on here, when you get onto the app,
I love
you're
that.
greeted with tonight's pick,
I
right?
love that.
And this is something where it's telling you exactly how many films you have. We're gonna go ahead and tap it, and you have all these options. If you want like a quick 1 or 2 hours, if you want a comfort watch, let's say a movie that you've watched a billion times. It's a rainy day, you're feeling under the weather. You just throw that on, boom. But for this test in particular, I'm gonna go ahead and pick surprise me. You have
I love that
genres.
feature.
So you could go ahead and go between all the genres, and this only shows you what you have, which is
Hmm.
great. So if you don't have it, it's not gonna overpopulate information on here, and then you're kind of disappointed. But you have decades, you have formats as well. So if you're just feeling VHS tonight, boom, just VHS, and it tells you in real time how many VHS movies you own, so that way you're fully aware. You even have an option for labels. If you're feeling picky tonight and you're just like, I want to do 88 films tonight, boom. But in this case, we're going to go ahead and do any format. We're going to do any label and just pick something. Oh,
Good
there it
choice.
is.
Good
And
choice.
and this is a feature that I just added. I'm just testing today, where for a lot of people that have their shelves numbered or they know exactly where the movie is, you could put it on here in the app. So when a movie recommendation comes up, it's going to tell you, hey, it's located on this shelf. Kind of like walking into Blockbuster and saying, hey, where's The Shining? And they're going to be on that shelf to the right.
Hmm.
But it tells you the very basic information. It tells you, the information on the movie. It tells you, if, in this case, it's saying it's sealed, which is not, but it's only because I haven't finished updating my collection. But it tells you the rating based on the stuff that you've watched and all the information on the format. And let's say we want to make it a double feature. Boom. It's going to throw another
Ooh,
one.
double Kubrick.
Oh, yeah. But you have so many options. Afterwards, you could go ahead and log it, which is great. If you're not into it, it's okay. Just put not tonight and it'll catalog it for next time. I'm still working on improving the algorithm, making it fine tuned. But this is your shelf. It knows you. You know your shelf.
Right.
Um, and we're gonna move on to Ask Your Shelf. I wanted to create Ask Your Shelf as your own personal assistant.
Yeah.
Now it is using AI, but I want it to be, first of all, responsible with it for the environment and for your privacy. Everything that you put into this app stays on your phone. So you're
Beautiful.
using Apple Intelligence directly on your phone. It's not going into a cloud or some data center or anything. And anything that you search on here is private. The only time anything goes to a database, which is a database that I host, is when you back something up. And all that stuff is encrypted.
Hmm.
So feel free to mess around with Ask Yourself, ask questions. With every update, I'm improving it to fine tune for anything you want to ask. If you want to say, hey, I want to watch, tell me some Nick Cage movies I haven't seen. And it's going to know based on your collection. Like, hey,
Yeah.
these are some Nick Cage movies that you want.
That's so slick because, like I said, I'm doing that challenge this week is sports related, and I would want to say sports related in my collection or something like that, and that way I could see, or better yet, sports related in my collection unwatched, because that's what I'm trying to do. I got a lot of cellophane behind me. I'm trying to eliminate that, so
Yeah.
it will basically pull that out and show me, well, you never watch Rocky Four, the Drago cut, or whatever it is, and just show me as an option.
And there it is. It's here to make your life easier in a responsible way, in a fun way. And it's just, think about your own like video store curator that you have personal on there, where they know what you want, they know what you're looking for. It expedites the process. And now there's a feature here that's gonna horrify for a lot of people, and it's actually knowing how much your collection is worth and how much you've spent.
Yeah.
For all the for all the power users out there, this is a feature where man, like it's gonna break everything down based on your collection.
Yeah,
Everything covered.
we got a comment saying I might need to find a way to block the estimated value. Not sure I want to know. So that's either a toggle or it should be a future feature.
No, this yeah, so that's something that I've been thinking about how to make it even more customizable. I'm
Hmm.
gonna work on a way to where if you go into your settings, eventually if there's certain things on here that you don't want to see, I don't want you to be forced. For example, like the top four, that's something that's optional. So if you, I selected, and again, these are all as examples because I wanted to show for you guys. But for anyone that you don't want your top four movies on here, you just don't add them, and it doesn't show up for you. Same thing with if you loan somebody a movie, for example, that normally would show up all the way in the bottom. And if you haven't loaned anybody anything, it's not going to show up on there. If you have a digital code, right, it's gonna have a widget come up right on here where it's gonna say these are your digital codes. This is when they expire. And if you don't have anything saved on there, it's not gonna show up. So it's not taking up space or anything like that,
That's
which is the
awesome.
beauty of it. Kind of,
That's awesome.
yeah, man. Keep it simple, keep it organized. But you have a breakdown here, and this is a simple collection value of everything.
Hmm.
But you also have something where an insurance report, right? Let's say something happens to your collection. You have this PDF exported with a whole breakdown of your collection. So you're able to send it to your insurance company and you're able to get compensated for that
I
or
like
just
that.
for personal documentation reasons. But you have diary recap, which unfortunately right now, since I don't have anything logged, is not going to
Hmm.
show. But anything that you've watched, listened to, played, it's going to show up on here on this list for you with the ratings, with any notes that you left on there for that watch. If you watch the special features, it's going to show up on there. You have your recap as well. So it's going to show you this month. You could go back between months as well for it to show you pretty much how much have you spent that month, what have you been watching the most, what have you been doing, like new additions. And, and then we have, which I want to jump into since we're in that real quick, your stats. You go by year, month, and you get breakdown for the month. Let's say for the month, right? It's going to tell you the total that you spent for the month on movies, TV, music. I mean, you name it, the works. Collection by type, formats, what you own the most, your top genres, your most collected creators by decades, additions over time. And then this is for people that are just, they're big. Like if you want to know your top director for that month, top
Hmm.
genre, it's going to show up on here for you, which is going to be awesome. And if you want to show off and be like, hey man, this is what I want to put this on social media. This is how much I've invested in my collection this month. You want to let people know you're like, I'm diehard, man. These are my badges that I've
Yeah,
earned from collecting my favorite, my comedy favorite of the year.
I see a lot
And
of elements like the letterbox elements, even a little Spotify with like the year in review here. Um,
yeah,
as Aaron said here, the attention to detail and features are awesome.
I,
Very
I
true.
they were inspiration. Listen, guys, there's a lot of my favorite apps. Letterbox, for example, that was one that there was a lot of features on there that I thought were amazing, and it's like, why don't we incorporate that on here? Because
Hmm.
I didn't want it to come off as you're stealing ideas. It's more of kind of trying to synchronize things in a way. And for
Hmm.
example, 10 things I hate about you, right? But except not about you, KB, because I love you. 10 things I
Yeah,
love about KB.
all
But
love.
let's say right here, log it on Letterbox.
And that
You
was
t-
going to be my question. Like,
yeah.
is there like are there tie-ins to different things? So, for example, Letterbox. For example, I look up that movie and it's not in my collection, but it's available on physical media. Is there a tie-in to like Amazon or things like that?
So with Amazon, it's difficult because
Yeah,
they're
their
big
APIs are
gatekeepers.
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. You have to be one of the elites to be able to even get access to an API. With
Hmm.
Letterbox, unfortunately, that's something I'm working on. Actually, man, I'm telling you that the community, the amount of emails I've sent to boutique labels, the amount of boutique labels that I've talked to, and they've actually collaborated with me and given me access to their databases.
Hmm.
This is the first app out there that's gonna have that's going to have second sight database in here. It's going to have 88 films
Oh,
database. Like you're able to scan the barcode or look it up, and it's going to tell you, which I'm going to show you guys in the example. But I've reached out to these people and said, hey, this is what I've built. I need your help. I just need access. I want to promote you guys. I want collectors to be able to put in their collections on here, and they know the difference between a second sight Blu-ray and then just a regular studio release Blu-ray.
right. Like I got
So
Blair Witch on DVD, I got it on Blu-ray, but I also have the second sight. It should be
exactly,
3 separate entries.
exactly. And then you want to know what it's worth on the current second sight website. You want to know if there's a second sight sale. You want to know which of your movies on your wish list is on sale.
Right.
Like it's, and these are all things that are on here. With the letterbox is something I'm working on, getting a hold of them to see if there's any way that we could figure something out about an API. Because right now, if you tap log on letterbox, it's going to take you to the exact title of the movie on letterbox on your app, so you could rate it.
Mhm.
And then if you do want to bring in your letterbox ratings, you're easily able to import that stuff. So you could go into on here, you can import your letterbox ratings and it'll automatically attach to your movies. So you have that for now to hold you over. But yeah, man, I'm trying to
You're
bring
doing it, bro. You're
everything
doing
together
it.
in one place.
Did I see a CSV import? So, like, let's say I convert from my
Oh, yeah.
current app and I want to take what I already have, but also implement it here and continue to work. So I could do like an export CSV from my current program, or in my case, from Blu-ray.com, and import it into here.
Yeah, I try to make it as smooth as possible.
That's
Um,
awesome.
and this is something that when you import that, it's gonna let you know, hey, this seems like a duplicate. Is this a studio release, or is this a boutique label?
Hmm.
And I've already tested this with books, music, with movies. I've had friends test it out for me as well with different apps like CLZ. I didn't have that set up for myself, so I really leaned on a lot of people. I mean, shout out to Jordan from the Movie Den,
Yeah, man.
bearded film guy Chris. Like these two guys were contributing like crazy, especially Jordan. Man, I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
something. These guys,
That's why you're leaning on getting second sight for him.
yeah, oh yeah, like see, listen, there was something where a lot of the boutique labels, the first ones I added, I was like, you know what, the least I could do. These guys have just been like Jordan. I'll see him submitting stuff for this internal database that I've built, this community database. And it's like this guy's up late just submitting covers for movies and information and barcodes for box sets. He's over here building these box sets so you guys don't have to. And let me tell you, man, like it's been a collaboration. Like I wanted to give them a shout out because they've really been such a great support system and helpful with ideas, and
Yeah,
they've been as obsessed as I have. So
those are your bros, man. You succeed, they succeed. That's how friends are. So I
it
know
is,
that they
man.
haven't seen it. We got some questions in the chat. Pop
Yeah.
culture asks, does the app work with Apple shortcuts?
It does. So you actually have a widget as well.
Hmm.
Um, so and with the simulator, it's impossible to kind of show
Yeah,
it off right now because I don't
because
have it set. But
right.
I'll give you guys a little sneak peek here. But you have different widgets, and let me see if it shows my screen.
Let me bring it up for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to stop sharing for a minute. Well, you have to stop sharing for a minute.
Oh, hold on 1 second here. Oh wait, I think you're on the screen. Oh, there you go. So yeah, so you have your widgets here, and it's a little backwards, but you have access to everything. Like the widget itself, it gives you the option to quickly scan something, to add something to the collection, to ask yourself a question, or if you just want to pick something for that night and you're like, I just want to pick something quick, you tap pick, it opens it up for you automatically, and then you have, oh, and there you go, I locked it. And then you have that feature. So you do have widgets. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm trying to cover everything on there. We'll see maybe if I even implement some Apple Watch feature or something, like where you just
Hmm.
on your Apple Watch you just tap pick a movie and it just lets you know right then and there without opening
Yeah.
the app.
It's
But
great because I mean, once you have your collection in there, sometimes people talk about death scrolling when it comes to, streaming, but once you have a decent sized collection, like I put it to my Instagram community all the time. I'm like, hey, what should I watch tonight? And I give them like a choice of four. And then I start with whatever has the biggest percentage. And if I'm up for two, I'll pick the next one. But if I could just like pull up my watch and be like, pick a movie for me, boom, and it picks some random movie and I just go and grab it. That's great.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I'm trying. I'm telling make. I
Watch
don't want to
OS is
make
a different headache though.
it is. Yeah, it definitely is. But it's something that it's worth tackling if the demand is there.
Hmm.
Something I want to emphasize again. This app is for the community, and I've made it like throughout clear on here that any request, any feature requests, you're
Yeah,
able to reach out.
I like that.
You want to contact support. You're having an issue. You're reaching out to me directly. I'm there to help. And I even wrote it at the bottom. It's made by a physical media collector for physical media collectors. So I want people to know that this is for you. Like this, I want this to be fully customizable experience. I want your data to be safe. So it's always going to be safe on here. You don't have to create a profile for anything. The only time that if you do choose to do your backups, you just sign in with your Apple email and that's it. You don't have to fill out your name, any of that stuff. You don't there's no pop-ups. There's never going to be ads on here. I'm not going to push anything towards you. As far as for pricing and all that, my plan is to never change pricing, but obviously as inflation and all that stuff, anything happens or we need to get a bigger database for the app and stuff like that maybe in the future, but I'm like I'll say right now that it's highly unlikely because I'm very big on if you make a promise on something like what we've seen with streaming stuff where it's like if you start off with $10 next thing you know you're paying $30 for something and then there's
Right.
ads and this and that. uh,
StreamYard.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. Like there's no ads here, there's no stealing your data, there's no selling your data to anybody against all that nonsense, and all your stuff is safe.
Love that.
So this is guys, I mean I'm excited, man. Like
I'm excited for you, bro. I really am. You already have someone here waiting for the Android version to drop. Steve is like he's on it the
I've
moment it
I've
does.
I've had like 10 people already
Hmm.
ask me. So it's been one of those where it's like, okay, I'm starting to see like the request for it. And very soon, like I've already started looking into it, but very soon we'll start seeing some more moves for it.
Yeah,
Um, like I said, it's a bit of a different animal. And one of the things with Android, it's like the ask your shelf feature, right? This feature in particular is heavily relied on Apple Intelligence. So it's built in and it's secure and that's what I love. But if I was to deploy it on Android, for example,
has to go
that
out to Gemini.
it might have to, yeah. And then also depending on do you have to pay for the API? Because with Apple Intelligence, it's built in. So you don't have to pay for any of that. All that's included, all that is safe. But then with Android and Gemini, stuff like that does go into a cloud. Um, they nickel and dime you for everything. And I don't want to have to charge more because they're
Right,
trying to charge me more. So there's a chance if I do it, maybe at the time for that time being, the Ask Your Shelf feature might not be available, but then everything else still stays. So it might be a little small trade, but I do want to jump in for something here because so guys, when we collect stuff and we look at our shelves, it's rewarding in itself, right? But
hmm,
as a community, there's nothing like having like a badge of honor, right? Like a little purple heart of collecting. And that's a feature that I implemented on here. You have 42 different badges that you collect. And if you end up getting all of them, please email me. Like email me, let me know because I'd love to give you a shout out on social media and post you. But man, like you have so many different badges for so many different things between again watching movies, listening to music, like edition connoisseur for the
Yeah.
fancy ones out there for the steelbook collectors and all that stuff.
Now you got some Reddit stuff in there too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, just adding everything, man. Like anything that I mean, it's just like gamers, right? Every time you get an achievement, you get excited.
Hmm.
Um, but you got badges, so you compete with your friends or other collectors, and be like, dude, I'm the ultimate like movie watcher. I'm here at 2 in the morning watching all these movies. Um, and you can follow your friends, your favorite creators. We've got
I
none
like
other
that.
than
I
Jordan.
like that.
So I'm just gonna check out his shelf. Look at this guy, the movie den.
His movie collection is so eclectic.
It's so good, man. You can see his
It is.
movies, his
I
TV
was watching
shows.
his tour the other day. We do have a question about TV shows. Let me pull it up. Sorry if you already covered it. How does it handle TV shows you're watching? Like, can you track it per episode that you're watching, or is it just you watch a season or the show?
You know what? Let's get in there, huh? Because I'm very excited about this. This is one of the features I launched this morning that I was just dying about. So you
All
have
right,
Stranger Things,
cool.
right? We have it on here. Here, we're going to movies,
Change the
TV
TV
shows.
shows.
Oh, yeah, you got all your stuff on here. You could set it based on an order. So you have all sorts. You could do box sets. You could do franchises. You could do editions.
I like that because there's a difference between someone watching it on streaming versus someone with a physical media copy.
Oh, yeah. And the reason I wanted to do this is because I like it saves space on here. So instead of having multiple ones, for
Mm-hmm.
example, for All Real Monsters, it lets you know. And for the people that like to keep track of how many they own or not, let's go
Chappelle
ahead
Show.
and Stranger. So I have two versions, right? I have
Mm-hmm.
the Target releases, and then I have the box set.
Era. Yeah.
But here it is. So it tells you you own all 5 of the 5 seasons, and if it's missing one, it's gonna let you know, hey, you don't own it. Add it to your wish list. But it's going to season 1, right? And it's letting me know, is it the Blu-ray? Is it the 4K?
It also
So now,
lets you it's discontinued because there's no price next to it.
yeah, yeah. Well, so there's certain things in this collection, for example, that I haven't fully updated. So if you see something like it says, like the other copies at the Target ones, I only have the Blu-rays, but I haven't
Mm-hmm.
had a chance to go in there and change some things. But you have, let's say we have season 1 on here, right? You have the trailer, where it's playing, you have that information. It's letting you know this disc is for season 1, what episode you're on. So it tells you you're up there. And let's say I just watched it already, right? I'm like, you know what? I already watched it. Boom. Lets you know what's up next.
That's
Lets you know
cool.
what season you're on, the cast. So we could just go ahead and go in here.
We know that.
Got all that information on here, guys. I mean, again, this is all thinking IMDb inspiration type stuff. Same thing with recommendations.
Is
Go
that the
here.
API it's pulling from?
No. Unfortunately, I could not get, again, like them, the same thing. They're like, the amount of money that they wanted to like ask for to
Mm-hmm.
access their API is insane. I use TMDB.
Yeah.
They're amazing, and they have such data. I mean, I have so
They're
many
detailed
different.
too.
Yeah, they're
Very
very
detailed.
detailed. And I've been building my own database as I go as well. So that way, for any reason, any of these services crash or they're having issues, we have a backup, which would be internal, and eventually not have to rely so much on APIs and stuff like that. But yeah, it lets you know what part of the Stranger Things set it's on, under other editions that you own, other seasons, and then this is all the fun stuff that you get to fill in if you want, how you got it, was it self-purchased, was it a gift, what type of region it is, everything covered. If it is it complete, is it loose disc only, missing parts,
It's
edition,
crazy.
boutique label,
Dude,
right?
you are doing it. You are
And then
doing it.
it tells you your watch history,
One app to rule
notes.
them all.
So now we have our notes. Like, yeah, man. No, this is and this is
I can
just
see
going
you geeking out with this though. I can
like,
see you geeking out.
dude, it's so much fun, man. Like it's just this is for such a power user type thing where it's like
Yeah.
let's say like, and this is a good example. For example, we were talking about earlier. It's like, oh, the case comes with a 4K and a Blu-ray, right? So it says formats in the case, Blu-ray. You can scan the barcode, or if it's a catalog number, for example, for Second Sight, the completeness, all that stuff, boutique label, your digital copy. So now you could put what service the digital copy is for. Let's say
Oh
movies in.
wow.
Is it redeemed or not? Has an expiration date. You can put the code,
Wow.
details when you bought it, where you bought it from, like shelf location. This is something I was mentioning about. The synopsis if you want to change anything, more notes.
Wow.
But I mean, yeah, man, I've just been really trying to cover everything on here.
I
Um,
have to ask, has this consumed your life in the last couple of months or what?
this has been literally day and night. Like
I
if you,
mean, I'm like, where did GC go? It was like all of a sudden I'm not seeing the videos, I'm not seeing the live streams, hardly seeing you on Instagram. I see what you've been doing.
it's been hard, man, because it's I want to go and live life and everything, but at the same time, it's been one of those. Every time
Ah,
I add something,
mm-hmm.
I get inspired by something else. And I'll
Yeah,
tell you, like my girlfriend, like she's been a trooper, so shout out to her. But
yeah, shout
there's been
out.
times, well, I get where she's coming from because like on a Sunday, I have a standing desk, and just imagine I'm standing here from like 10 a.m. and
Mm-hmm.
next thing you know, it's like 10 o'clock at night, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, I'm just adding some more notes, just 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
And man, this has really, I mean, now I'm good now that it's live and all these
Yeah.
features are implemented. But yeah, it was, oh man,
You
it
got
was
to
a
keep the
full time.
balance, bro. You got to
It
keep the
is,
balance,
yeah.
especially with a relationship. You definitely got to keep the balance.
Yeah. Because
Trini
it's,
said, now we got to teach people how to cut cable TV. Yeah, cable TV, streaming services, because I don't know. Uh, I'm a family of five and we share because we can't all afford it. But everything is going up. Everything is going up. So if I'm paying $20, $25, I'm gonna get what I want and be able to physically own it and know it's gonna be the same today as it is gonna be 10 years from now. But yeah, it's getting ridiculous. So cutting the cable, cutting the streaming services, going physical. Pop culture says, so is it tracking what you own or is it mixed? Like if I'm watching Stranger Things on Netflix but don't own it, could still track it, or does it not show up in my collection? If it's coming from TVMB, it should be doing both, correct?
yeah. So on here, you're only tracking like what you own.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that I've played with where, because the original intent is of physical media app. So to be able to track like streaming, but I have planned to add that feature. So let's say if you don't own Stranger Things, I wanted to figure out a way to incorporate where it's like if you do have a streaming service, then you'd be able to track that on there. Or same thing with like ebooks or audiobooks, or digital games. Like eventually, I do want to start tracking digital stuff on there for people that do still own it, because I don't want anybody to feel singled out in that aspect, because it's still collecting. I mean, it's digital, but it's still something that's still worth having all that documented. But yeah, I will look into that. And pop culture, thank you for any suggestions. Again, guys,
This
like
is just
send
the
it my
beginning,
way.
people.
Yeah, like
This is
literally
just the
this,
beginning.
like this is I want to make this as like the best thing. I want to make this a standard. I want this to be right up there eventually with Letterbox and all these other amazing apps, and people to
Yeah.
just have fun with it.
So let's go full stream. I'm going to put back up the website again. So this is just a website for Keptcase, but you could find it in your app store for iOS users. Tell people what the cost is, and we've seen just a tidbit of what we can expect. So the question here is price. Are we able to share with family members so they can share but have their own library?
So at the moment, that was a hard one, and due to like the size of database and stuff like that, it wasn't something I was able to to do. So if for example you have a family of five and you want to share that app with everybody, that's all different collections. That's all different data that goes in there. So unfortunately for the family part, there is no sharing, but you can share your shelf, which is that feature that you saw on there. So you could each member could have their own subscription, and then they're able to share their shelf, and then you could have it on there and have your own section. Another thing too that makes it difficult, it's because I wanted to make this so you don't have to create a user account.
Right.
It makes it hard to be able to distinguish that if you're under the same subscription. But that's something that I could consider in the future, as obviously costs, and like as I see this, and like for the first year, how much does it consume database wise, storage and processing and all that, and then go from there. Because in the end of the day, it's really just having that the data in front of you to be able to make those decisions, especially with the amount of stuff again like that we're covering, like movies and books. It's so much content to download and so much information that
Hmm.
it's insane.
So while I continue to stare at Good Burger behind you, tell the people the price of it.
Yeah, it's so you have two options for the first week, for the first 7 days, free trial. Go bananas with it, and then Good Burger. I love that movie, man. I'm constantly playing these movies in the background, even when I'm working, just because I'll turn around every once in a while. I'm like, yeah,
You know the scene.
yeah. I was like, yeah, I could go for a Good Burger. But yeah, so as far as for monthly price, it's $4.99 a month, and then if you want to do for the year, it's $39.99 for the year. This
Hmm.
covers everything. There's no tiers or anything. There's just everything on the app is covered.
Hmm.
I do tell people that if you could only do the $4.99 and it's something you want to use, go for it. But you are saving more if you do the $39.99 and you have it for the entire year. I mean, you're almost getting almost 3 to 4 months covered free. So that's always the best bet if you're able to afford it. But if not, try it out. Do month to month, see how you like it. If it ends up being something you're like, I'm okay. I want something simpler. Nothing, I don't need all the bells and whistles. Like I just want to log my stuff. Then at least worst case, you spent $5 or something.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to think about that where this comes from the heart. Like I love the community. I love this. This is something I want to build for myself and for everybody. So don't look at it as a subscription for like big conglomerate like Netflix and all that. This is just me building it so that covers like the expenses and stuff. And think about it as every month you're buying me a cup of coffee for putting in the work. So
Yeah. Couple of comments here. Nate said he was messing with it, thought it was great, was having a heck of a time adding box sets. Not sure if he was doing something wrong or if box sets just can't be added. We just looked at Stranger Things, so we know it can be added. Might be you said you have a troubleshooting thing in the settings.
yeah, and
Yeah.
actually let me throw
Shoot
that
him a
in real.
message.
Let me throw in a real quick.
While you're doing that, just one more. Pop Culture said he left subscription apps like years ago, but using an Excel sheet, that's tough. This sounds just like what he'd been looking for. That's awesome. Uh,
Man, yeah,
Trini, yeah, right now it's only for Apple, but he's working on the Android version as well.
yeah. Another big decision too. It's like I use the Apple ecosystem,
Hmm.
and based on all the tools and with Apple Intelligence that I wanted to use built in, it was just the first time I had to go with it. So no shade to all the Android users. It was just one of those. It was hard to launch an app when you don't own the device for it. So that's why. But
I
like I said,
troubleshoot for Android users. I know what you mean.
yeah. But guys, if you do have any issues on here, I am gonna put the full app guide. That's something that's coming. I've been building it, so you'll have the full app guide on here. But you do have an FAQ section. If you have any questions, oh, we lost it. But yeah, you have that option, so you could go ahead and select if you want to reach out and all that good stuff, and then you're good. And as far as for box sets, that's something that you do have the option to be able to create your custom box set on the app itself. So if you scan, let's say like a box set, like an umbrella one, and it doesn't show up on there yet, it's because umbrella, for example, I haven't been able to merge it on here, and no other database out there exists that has these box sets. Like none of them do. So this is something that I am building for the first time from scratch with collaboration with these boutique labels. But you're easily able to create a box set on here and customize it. If you scan a movie, it will ask you, is this a box set? And if it is, it's going to say, okay, what movies are on here? Or if you scan Fast and the Furious, it's going to say, is this a Fast and the Furious box set? And then it's going to list you the movies, and it's going to say, okay, do you want to add these to that box set? So that's something that you're going to have access to for sure, which
Yeah. Bro, this is really cool. I'm proud to see what you've done so far, but we still like to do a little bit of a five takes for the returning people. So we got new five take questions for you that we could run through.
let's
I'll
do
give you
it.
a choice: straight up movies or physical media collector questions.
You know what? Well, I think we talked about movies last time. So let's
Okay.
let's try the physical media.
Okay, we'll start with number one, the five takes. Basically, the five questions we ask every guest toward the end of the conversation. We're going to start with the retcon questions. And since he's been here before, what is the best movie you bought on a whim without seeing it first?
Man, that is a tough one. Let me take a look back here real quick. Hold on one
Got to
second.
look at the collection. I know for me, it was Run Lola Run, and it was back in the DVD days. I didn't know anything about it, and my boy Big Daddy Rich just brought up his name last night at dinner. He's like, "Oh, you got to check this out," and I was like, "All right, I'll do a blind buy." I love that movie. I love that movie. What you got?
I gotta say, looking at it real quick, I think Hell
Hmm.
House, like the Umbrella
The
box set,
first one, the set.
the set, like I just bought it. It
Yeah.
was on sale, and I didn't really know much. All I knew was that it had to do with like this haunted type amusement thing, and that's all I did. I didn't see a trailer or anything. The guys, I briefly asked them, I was like, "Oh, was it worth it?" And they're like, "Dude, check it out." I mean,
Hmm.
again, I got such a great deal for it, so I went
Yeah.
full in, man. And
That
let me
first
tell
one is
you,
classic.
yeah, it was so good. Like it was so much fun. I did a live stream, Cinema Rewind episode on it, and it was with the guys, and it was fun. Like it was definitely worth. Like I'm really glad I bought it.
That's cool. Number two, what's the one out of print or rare physical media release you're still hunting to put on your shelf?
One of them that I actually got thanks to Chris, Bearded Film Guy.
Hmm.
He hooked it up with the second sight box set of the Blair Witch Project. That was one
The
that,
limited edition.
yeah,
I
that
missed out
was
too.
dude, that was one that I wanted. Hooked it up. And another one that was a grail for me was the Dawn of the Dead box set. And dude, I got it on Facebook Marketplace, and the guy sold it to me pretty much for the price that he bought it for, and I couldn't believe it. And it was sealed and everything because he had two
Nice.
copies, and
Yeah.
this one had like a tiny, tiny dent. Like you couldn't even really see it, but
Hmm.
he upgraded and to some other stuff, and he was trying to clear out his collection and hooked it up. And
Yeah.
yeah,
I
those were
know a
my
lot of
grails.
people who do that, especially with steel books. They'll buy two and hope one will come in good condition and then just sell off the other one. Yeah, that's a great set. That is definitely a great set. Number three, which movie did you buy precisely because the cover art was so good or the packaging was too good to pass up?
Man, I think the art art attack box set from Umbrella
Mhm.
at the time, I think I only saw the first film, and I don't know, when I saw the packaging and I saw everything, I thought it was so freaking cool. Like I was like, man, like this is really beefed up. Like right now, Hatchet, for example, Jordan just posted that, and I was like, dude, this is so damn cool. Like I want it. Like I haven't seen any Hatchet movies, but I was like, I want it. Like
It looks
that's
good. The packaging is dope.
yeah,
My best friend did the same thing with the Art Attack set. He's like, "What's this company Umbrella?" I'm like, "Just buy it."
do it.
He had none of the movies. I was like, "Just buy it."
I got it for $40, the
That's
entire
awesome
4K box set, dude. I could not
because
believe
people
like
weren't paying that on day one. I'll tell you that much.
yeah. Sometimes listen, sometimes it's rewarding to be patient and wait because I see that a lot now where these
Mhm.
box sets are like, oh, it's limited edition. And look what happens like a year later. We
They
found some.
reprint. Yeah,
Yeah.
or that's the other thing. Like the Rambo, I remember the Rambo set from Lionsgate. It was like, "Oh, there's no more coming out. You missed out on the Best Buy. You missed out on Lionsgate Limited." And then all of a sudden they found a few. That thing was gone in 10 minutes, not
Oh,
even.
yeah. That just happened now. I think Brian, last movie Santa was letting us know there's like a sale about, I forget which company it was. They found
Mhm.
some inventory collecting dust all of a
Yeah.
sudden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever. Number 4, if you had to downsize your entire collection to just 10
Ooh.
films, which one would be the hardest to let go of?
I think a movie that nobody ever talks about, very low budget. It's called The Man from Earth. That's a movie that I love, and I could just sit there and watch over and over. And it's just a simple movie of a conversation that takes place in a cabin with I think it was like close to 8 people or so, and they're all college professors in different categories, archaeologists, historian, you name it. And the conversation that they have and the theory that goes behind it is just mind blowing, and it
Mhm.
stays with you and it makes you think. So that's one for me. Another one, it's another, like I would say, Another Earth. It's an amazing film. I Origin, which is the same actress as well.
We
These are the
spoke
movies.
about these the last time you were on. And then I
Yeah,
went to find it and not so
it
easy to find.
it is, man. It's hard, and those are the movies for me that mean something, and just the fact that they
Mhm.
get me thinking and get me into perspective. It's like the ones that'd be hard to get rid of, and they're just they're very basic versions. They're no box sets. There's nothing crazy about them, but I think how they make me feel is to the
Yeah.
value behind it.
Yeah. That's cool. And number 5, which film was saved for you by a director's cut or alternate edition?
That's a hard one.
Mhm.
That is a hard one.
Because especially since we don't normally put things in our collection that we, necessarily didn't like to begin with, but I'm always looking to see if I could find a different cut or a different perspective to see if it makes a film better. Like, I know Ridley Scott is good for that, like his Alien movies
Yeah.
and all that. Like, it'll come with like the theatrical and then special edition, or like Amadeus, you have the theatrical and the director's cut. I prefer the director's cut. So things like that.
I will say that I can't think from the top of my head one that I have like a preference, but I will say
Hmm.
that I just found out a few days ago. I didn't know the movie Limitless, which is with Bradley Cooper, where he takes
Hmm.
that pill and he's like super smart.
I love that
I,
movie.
dude, I
I want
freaking
that pill.
I every time because of that movie, back in 2017 when I watched this movie, I went on this whole deep dive looking into nootropics and stuff and learning all
Hmm.
about them. And I was working for a company that had like sold supplements and health stuff and everything. So I actually did a whole presentation because our CEO was like, "Hey, do a presentation, guys, on a company that you believe in and like what inspired you to this." To me, I was like, yeah, the movie Limitless inspired me in a rabbit hole. So then I found this company that made nootropics, and then I got them to send me samples to give to all my coworkers, and then we're all like hyper focused at work and wired. And but that's one I just found out it had a director's cut, and I had no idea.
Really?
Yeah, it had. There's a
I gotta get
director's
my
cut
hands
for
on
it.
that.
That one, the movie Stay Alive, which is based. It's kind of a video game in the movie that they play that it's on like this countess to kill kids and all that, and it's a whole
Hmm.
thing, but it didn't get a big following whatsoever.
I
But
remember it though.
yeah, it's such a fun movie. That one had a director's cut, and it's just, dude, it yeah, those
I
unknown
gotta
movies
I
that
gotta
most
find Limitless director's cut now. I'm
yeah.
already looking.
I found it at this used bookstore, and it was like this $2.50 came with a slip cover and everything, and I just look at it, and it came with the behind the scenes, the making of it, like a whole thing. And then I look at my basic copy, and it was just like, oh, just a movie and subtitles, and I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
It's pretty basic. Pretty basic. But what's not basic is Kepcase. I'm loving this. I got like 2 stacks of movies that I don't have on my shelf yet. I don't have in my other app yet that I'm just gonna have some fun just playing with it. Got some new vinyl to add to it as well.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
I'm gonna utilize all the features in there and definitely keep you in mind if I have some future features that would be cool, and it'll probably be on your list already, but it's still cool. It's great to see people doing things like this because, you know, we can be consumers very easily, but to be creators is something different. So
Yeah,
I applaud you for being a creator in more than just, the YouTube space.
I appreciate it, man. Like I wanted to make something that you get your voice heard. Like as a like we rant about this a lot, where these
Mhm.
studios, these people just don't listen to us, and we're like, man, we're the consumers, we're the ones buying. Like, give us what we're asking for, or at least try. And with this, I was like, man, I wanted to make it where, like I mentioned before, you have access to me. It's not some big corporation or anything. It's just me, just a guy. You see my face, you hear me talk on either social media or hang out online with my friends, and you get to ask me questions, and you know where it's coming from too. It's like at like pure love it's being created. And anytime, if you guys have any issues at all with anything that you scan, it doesn't come up or something, because it's funny, we were talking about limitless, there is certain limits, obviously, right? And it's, again, it's only because It's not because of the app, it's just the databases that exist today and the access to them. So when I say that I've scoured like the internet for the best databases to put on here,
Hmm.
additionally to building my own, if it's not on there, don't worry, because it will be. And you do have the option to contribute, guys. This is a community app. So if you have a box set or you have a movie or a vinyl and you scan it and it doesn't show up on there, add the picture. You could always look up the picture online, take it yourself. You could put in the information, and at the end, it's going to ask you, hey, do you want to submit this to the community database? Then it's going to come to me. I'll review it and I'll add it. So next time somebody else scans it, it's going to be
Hmm.
there automatically. So you're contributing in your own way to the community. And yeah, there's a lot more community features coming. I'll say that. So
Yeah. Last question from me. Customize covers?
yes, absolutely. It's already in there, man. You could choose when you put in a movie, it gives you the option. Do you want to use the actual original poster? Do you want to use your own? Or if there's other ones in the database like Second Sight or anything like that, you have that option. And it's funny because Chris, where I was talking about that Chris Bearded Film guy, he was obsessed with it. He was sending us screenshots. He's like, I love custom artwork and all that
Me too.
stuff. And so you have that option on there.
Me too. I love this. I love this. Brother, it's good to talk to you again. It's good to see you. Like I was a little concerned, but at least I know what you've been doing, and you have something to show for being away. So it's good to see you again. Thank you for coming back on. Thank you everyone who's checked this out. If you're watching live, go ahead and give a like, subscribe, go check out the app. Like he said, there's a 7-day trial. If you're on iOS, you got an iPhone or iPad, go check it out. Give him feedback because that's the only way it's going to get better. But
Nice.
until then, we'll say goodnight and go watch a movie.